Good afternoon, TNT Super Fantastic Family. Today is Monday, March 25, 2019. Yours truly, Raymond 98 here, along with.
Good morning, TNT. All right. It's not a bright sunny morning, but it is morning. So the sun did rise, and we're going to have a good day. All right, Ray, do we send out anything? Huh?
No. As a matter of fact, no updates went out. And we did share some information on the rap session call yesterday, that information that came out, but none of it was actually sent out in a text.
Oh, was it good information?
No.
Or just information?
It was some rates. We had flashing rates on the screen. So I shared those yesterday with on that call, knowing that we would get into that today. And we had some fixed rates. So I shared information from two different bank sources that came in yesterday. Let's see. I guess we'll share those real quick. What do you think?
I would say you want to share with everybody else?
Well, I knew it would be today's topic of discussion. But the rates that were flashing as of yesterday, the Dinar was flashing from 4. I'm going to work from memory because I don't have it in front of me. I think it was 443 to 663 was the range that it was flashing. The Dong was flashing $2.22 to $2.60, somewhere thereabouts. It was flashing. The Zen 22 cents to 54 cents was flashing. Then we had another bank source that gave us constant rates or consistent rates. They weren't flashing. 221 on the Dong. Said the Dinar was low, that it was going to come out low and then climb, but they didn't give us any numbers. And Rupiah, $1.08. Now, this is a funny thing. That bank source that gave us the steady numbers was also like, we're going to see you guys on Tuesday. I'm like, okay. But then last night, when we checked back with them again, it was, well, the rates are no longer on the screen, period. Not that it means they won't still see us on Tuesday, but that was the latest news as of last evening, that those rates are no longer visible on the screen from the one source. The source that gave us the flashing rates, we have not heard back from that source yet.
Okay.
That's about it.
So that's all.
Oh, no. Come to think of it, though, I did have another a member that, I don't want to give out too much of their information. But anyway, a relative that worked at a bank said there was a rush over the weekend on people buying Dong at that particular bank. And then she even wrapped it up saying, well, the rate's supposed to be changing this week. Interesting.
Very interesting. And there you guys go. There's nothing else out there. The banks are getting the rates what Ray told you. They told us on Saturday and Sunday that they 100% guarantee we will be at the bank doing exchanges this week. And yes, at first they did say Monday or Tuesday. And then on Sunday they said this week, sometime this week. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. But we were already supposed to be going this week, from last week. We know that the codes were already released. So we weren't waiting on that. Parliament still didn't have their meeting or take their vote. It was moved from Tuesday to Thursday. This could be moved from Monday, Tuesday to Thursday, Friday. We have to wait and see. I just think the whole world is trying to wait and give Tony a birthday present. But we'll see what happens. Other than that, there's no changes in procedures, anything else. I'm trying to think, is there any other update? I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Red, you?
Okay.
I got everything from everybody, right? I'm just trying to remember.
Everything that I can think of. No? You got something?
No, look. Yeah, I forgot. The bank did say that they are going to come out with a sucker rate. She did say that. It's going to be a sucker rate, and then it's going to go up. They're looking for that first greedy mouse to just run as soon as we see it. That's what they're looking for. So you guys decide who fits in that category.
So now there's another name. So now there's another name for that first mouse person.
What?
It's called Lollipop. No, Lollipop. No, Sucker.
Okay. Oh, Sucker. Oh, okay. She just said it's going to be a sucker rate. Look for it to come out low and then go up. It'll go up fast, but it will come out low. So that's where we're at. All right?
Okay.
Let's talk to some people, answer some questions, see what's going on.
Puddled PNW. Tony, I saw the news story that Mahdi was not going out of the country until his cabinet was complete. Then he was off to Egypt and back yesterday. Parliament announced it was meeting, but nothing about cabinet elections. I think the cabinet is established, and they are not announcing it for some reason. What is your perspective?
Well, actually, during his speech over there, he said his government was completed. It was part of his speech. Said that they completed, because he said he wasn't going to go until he had his government completed. He actually, if you go look at the speech, said it's now complete. Maybe he shouldn't have said it, but that's what he said. And yes, they said they didn't vote because they didn't have a quorum, but yet they had 276 people attend Parliament. So how many they need for a quorum, I don't know. It's also been moved to Thursday, I guess, just to make the announcement. So we'll see what happens. I think it's been done. I've been told it's been done. They know exactly who those people are going to be. And for whatever reason, they're holding the announcement back because of the RV. But we'll see. Who's next?
Sunstar says, number one, are the Iraqi citizens still receiving currency updates and currency training on Iraqi television?
We didn't get anything about on television this week. Last week they were still doing things with the lower dinars and showing them the old ones so they wouldn't confuse them with the new ones. So I haven't gotten any information about what's on TV today. All right.
Okay. Any news from the store vendors that you can share?
Everybody's waiting. Let me see.
Okay.
What did I get from them today? Did I get anything from them today?
Not yet.
Nope.
Oh, I didn't. I'm assuming you didn't either.
Okay.
But anyway.
All right.
Number three, do we need the auctions to stop in Iraq before we see the new dinar rates?
It will happen at the same time. Auctions will stop because the bank will have a new way of making money. So, yes, we need them to stop, but it will happen at the same time. Go ahead.
And four, what are you expecting to see from Parliament this week?
This is one person asking 4 questions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they usually ask 3, but somehow they had a 4th one this time.
I'm expecting them, whenever, to make the announcement of who the 4 ministers are, say the government's complete and we have an RV. That's what I'm expecting from them. But again, they've already changed it from Monday to Tuesday to Thursday. That's what they do. So we're waiting to see what happens on Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
God's Kid says, Tony, consider, if you will, if one walks away with $100 million after exchange, and FDIC insurance covers only $250,000. What are some other strategies one could employ to ensure the lion's share of the new wealth is protected? If more money equals more responsibility, I want to be playing chess, not checkers, the gate.
Well, since it's per account, you can divide your account up. I mean, might have multiple accounts. You can have multiple bank locations. And you can put your money to work instead of letting it sit there being at risk. That's about all I can tell you. I mean, Lloyd's of London has certain insurance that you can put money into to make sure your money is insured and you're just going to let it sit. But my money's going to be working all the time. So I'm not worried about $250,000. At $100 million, I'm worried about turning that into 20, 30 extra million. All right.
Okay. Angels WME asking a bank for the contract rate. Will they impose a stipulation that we have to keep a portion of our money with them? And if so, what should we do?
They can't impose any stipulations. They can't make you do anything because it's your money. Okay? So, but what I would do is say, sure, absolutely, and negotiate on my rate. Well, or you say the contract rate. We'll negotiate where it's going to go and ask the bank, what are you going to do for me? What interest rate am I getting? What investment opportunities are you offering me? So where do I look at from there? That's what I would do.
J. Beth says, Ray, I'm a Canadian. I'm wondering if you have any contacts here in Ontario, Canada, that could teach according to our banking system, which is different from the U.S. I would love to be able to take some banking seminar in Canada for the Canadians. I'll entertain that and see who may be of interest and help facilitate that. And so in addition to the 13 banking seminars I plan to do here in the U.S., we might Canadians. All depends on what people rise to the surface who want to assist me on that effort. We'll see what type of response I get. Jim in KC says, 1, what are the current commonalities being told to you from your sources in Kurdistan, the American contractors, and your CBI guy?
What is the contractors and the CBI guy on the same page about?
Yes. Yep. What commonalities are being told you from those three?
Oh, it includes an American. Let me see. The only thing common is that that everything's done. CBI has done everything they're required to do, and the contractor is the only one saying that they needed the ministers really to be announced before it's released, because that's what he thinks. Actually, our guy over here is saying it's not required, and CBI is saying it's not required, and it's not required. But that's probably what they're waiting on. So they all agree it's over, and are just waiting for the announcement at the most. Now, CBI, our committee guy, and the banks all think it will be this week, though, that this will end this week. So we'll see. All right?
All right.
Let me see here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Because people were asking what was on TV, I guess. I guess they're showing more citizen education. Central Bank are still showing the notes that are still in circulation from 2003, 2013. and give them a price of $5 to $60 per cash category. Is what these are, and they're showing a bunch. I can't see the front of them, but that's what they're showing. They're still talking to them about that. All I see the 25,000 note. The green one is the 10,000 note. I don't know what the other ones are. The brown one, the blue one, the gray one, but they're making sure they know. Oh, wait, here it is. My bad. 50,000 to 25 to 10 to 5,000, 1,000, 500, 250. They told them these notes are still good and still in circulation for a reason. All right, good.
Okay. Sandola G says, a few years ago, there was a conversation / posting of 2 to 3 websites a person could go to go dark from social media, etc. Would you happen to have those sites and post them again or speak of them so that we can write them down?
I don't know anything about going dark, the dark web, underwater stuff, or nothing else. So I don't know where they came from, but it wasn't for me.
Okay. Me either. All right, we'll go to Broad. Broad says, do you think a delay of the RV?
No.
Okay. That takes us to live callers. First one on, 865, area code.
Good afternoon, Tony, and good afternoon, Ray. Appreciate your information that you're sharing with us today and the rates and all that. A couple of things. There's an article that is floating out there, accompanied by pictures and everything else, indicating that Halabusi, who's the Speaker of Parliament, is heading a delegation coming to Washington, D.C., and is actually already there. Are your sources giving any insight in terms of what he might be to? Because the articles are just saying they're not disclosing any further details. But this was a dateline from today.
Let me see. What could he be up to?
I know. That's my question. What's your answer?
I have no idea, because it said he's expected to talk about security, economic, and financial situations. And that's all it says. So that's all I can go by, just like you, until we get some insight from somebody.
Okay. With respect to the sucker lollipop rates, any estimate on the time frame that would even be lasting?
I wouldn't think it could last. I mean, once it hits 4X, it's going to take over. This is why they're just going to come out. She said with a sucker rate. So I've been advised not to go to the bank. So I'm not going. Look at the rate and see. And, you know, I got people who already said, if it come out at $1, I'm gone. Okay. If you're in that much of a hurry and you want to leave millions of dollars on the table, okay. So this is what I'll do for you guys. I will do a tweet out to everybody, and I will tell you when Ray's on the way to the bank. How about that? Ray's on the way to the bank.
What is Ray texting you now?
And then y'all know Ray agrees with that rate, and he says good enough for me. How about that? Look.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Listen, be very careful, guys, with this. Let me say this, because if it is a sucker rate and you want to still be the first ones in to go get the contract rate, make your appointment and say, I want the contract rate. And if they're not giving you the contract rate for any reason, cancel your appointment and wait for the rate to go up. That's what I would do. All right? Go ahead. What's next? Hello?
865? I think we lost her. Because the noise
Get her
stopped.
back.
Yeah, her call connection dropped.
She'll call. She can't. You just go to her.
Let's see. She must have been having a telephone challenge.
All right, we'll go to the next one. When you see her come back, can you just drop down to her?
Well, I won't see her come back. I'll have to keep going down there and hanging around at the bottom to see if it pops up.
All right.
That's a bottom dweller. People that hang around down at the bottom. But anyway. Let me see.
All right, who's next?
We'll just take the next one for right now. 954, area code, you are on.
Hi, good afternoon, Ray. Good morning, Tony. Thank you for taking
afternoon.
And first, Ray, I have to give you a thank you. Whenever I text you with something that I can't find or I don't understand, you come back very quickly. And even though it's not when a call is on, I appreciate that you do take the time to respond to us. So kudos to you for that.
Okay, thank you.
The next thing is we made a donation using that new part of the website. My husband did it twice, and twice it was sent out a donation. I don't know what was wrong, but twice it didn't work. I just wanted you aware that there might be some kind of glitch in there. And now I will get to my question. I don't know if you heard of the show or are aware of it, but I did get a friend involved in this, and they called me Sunday morning because Saturday night they listened to a show or watched a show called One America. It is a news program that comes only on Comcast and Hotwire, which are two sources of your, internet and your TV provider. And one of the news stories that came up said specifically, because the newscasters only read the story, they do not discuss anything, that something major is about to happen here. It has only happened one other time with a different president, but it will happen here. There will be a major change basically to our economy and to the money flowing here. So I am curious if you think that what they have been referring to, the story went on to more that all pointed, are they pointing to the RV, to a gold-back standard? What do you think they were trying to tell the public?
Well, I don't know because I didn't see the story. So I don't know all the rest of the details. And it could have been either one. Alert them that Basel III was going into effect around the world, or that we were just ready to have an influx in cash, because they're not going to say that an RV or revaluation in Iraq is a source of the U.S. economy taking off. That's never going to happen.
Right, but the fact that they said this only happened one other time with another president, do you think they were referring to Clinton and when the Kuwaiti RV'd?
They could have been. Again, I didn't hear it. I don't know the full context of it, but we know even that has happened before. It's happened after every war, that the U.S. got an influx of cash, and that's why wars make money, because they're building everything else. But as far as the citizens, Kuwait was the first time citizens got to benefit from it. So we'll see. I can't definitively say yes because I didn't see it, and I am aware of One America. Absolutely, but I didn't see that particular show.
Yeah, that was on Saturday night.
Okay.
And the only other thing I wanted to ask, the Mueller report, is that affecting us, Trump letting this go, not letting us go, because the Democrats are going after him for some other thing now? So did it have any bearing whatsoever on the RV?
It never had any bearing on the RV, because the rest of the world don't care what happens in the U.S.? I mean, is he guilty? Is he not guilty? Do the investigations continue? Anything else? It has nothing to do with the RV, whether or not we had to wait. What if Mueller took another 6 months or another year to finish? We just going to sit around here waiting for the report to come out? Guys, people just try to put every little thing in there. Not you, because I've seen other stuff already from other so-called gurus. This was it. This is what we've been waiting for. Now it's clear the whole world's going to open up. Had nothing to do with it at all. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you both very much. And hopefully before your birthday, Tony, you can have a nice gift and we do RV.
That's right.
Okay.
And thank you.
Yep. And thank you and have a great day.
All
Bye-bye.
All right, you too. Right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I found 865.
Hello.
Oh,
hey, welcome back.
That is rather interesting because I will be listening to your answer because my phone just went to dial tone. So I don't know what's going on here, but thank heavens you got me. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it. Other questions that I did.
You tell the CIA they need to stop shopping at Kmart. Go ahead.
Whatever. No, I was also curious to know whether or not there's been anything within the Gazette that is interesting information that we need to know that, you know, you could share with us, or if that's no longer really of any relevance.
It really isn't, guys, that I can see. There isn't any laws or anything that needs to go in the Gazette.
Yeah.
In order for the RV to happen. The CBI has told us they are done and they're ready to do this. Not that they need anything, any other laws, rules, or anything. We know the rate has changed over there already, so if there was something that needed to be done, they couldn't have done that. So we're just waiting to go international. Now, there was an article out this morning with Iraq doing something on Tuesday, I think with Saudi Arabia on the countries, which would make it international. It's on an international level. So we're going to wait and see what happens tomorrow.
Okay. And with all of the information that you guys have accumulated and having all the plans in the works for all of these banking seminars, realistically, when do you anticipate that those banking seminars in the 13 locations could actually start to be getting underway?
So the plan still remains to be 2 to 3 days after the official release of the RV.
Just planning, because it's sure looking like we are going to have a busy calendar week this week. And again, thank you ever so much for the information. Thank you for having retrieved me and getting back online. And 10 days from whenever you tell us this is going to be happening, that's we know is going to be our TNT Superfantastic Pay It Forward project. It's going to be a great one. Appreciate it. Okay. And hopefully this is our last PRV call. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So, Ray, hold on. I got some questions. So you're saying within 72 hours of the RV, there are going to be banking seminars in 13 locations all at the same time?
Yes.
And, okay. And somebody in each one of these locations is handling that, right? Because you can't be in 13 places at one time.
So I'm not going to be at any of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, I might go to one of them, but right now I don't plan to be at any of them. But, yeah, all of them are going to take place at the same time. I have 13 people coordinating that.
They all know within 72 hours we have the bankers and material and everybody ready to go at their location. Okay.
Right. Yeah, facilities already
put
reserved.
Are you putting out the locations?
Oh, sure. We're going to put that as soon as the rates go live. We'll post it on the site so folks can pick whatever area they want to go to for the seminar and register for it.
Okay. Is there a number for each seminar? 500, 1,000, 2,000, first come, first serve?
Yes.
How is that going to work?
We did some preliminary research, if you will, put up some feelers a while back to see how many people would be interested in attending something like that. So each area knows roughly whether to try to accommodate 500 people, 1,000, or 1,500 based on those responses. So they're geared up and have the locations, and then it'll just be first come, first serve for whatever they can accommodate.
Okay, but when it hits the board, do you have a number for each location, 1,500, 1,200, so they'll know?
Oh, yeah, when it goes up, each
post
location will probably specify its number with the understanding first come, first serve registration process until it reaches capacity.
Okay. And each location will have their own registration. People can go online and register with each one of them.
Independent registration.
All right.
Correct.
All right. So now all you guys know what I know.
So they don't have to contact you, right?
Do not, because I just asked all the questions for you. So
or me, for that matter.
All right. Who's next?
Like we have the those 4 events that we posted on the website. It'll be just similar to that, but it'll be 13, and they can just click on the one they want to attend. Registration form pops up. They fill it out, pay the little $20, $30, whatever it's going to be, and then go to the session.
Okay. Now,
all right.
This is banking information, guys, banking seminars that Ray's putting out for you. The other 4, which are different, I'm going to do 3 small ones. They're one-day events, and they're basically all-day breakfast, meet and greets on the stage, give out a couple Bentleys to somebody at each location. We can have some fun, then hang out that night, hopefully have some kind of entertainment in each location. It's just all-day party in those 3. The 4-day event in Vegas will actually be some kind of banks or investment places coming out meeting, trying to present you guys with some things, opportunities that you can have, along with meet and greet. You get to meet people you've been talking to for the last 10 years. We'll come up with some kind of entertainment all 4 nights, and then everybody to go on their merry way, and the rich will get richer, because that'll be you. All right, Ray, what's next?
Okay, 209 area codes. You are on.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call again. I didn't get on last Friday. Good morning. I had 4 questions about the information that you sent out to us on that list. And after being in this for 5 years, I know things change, so I just want some clarification. One of them was, in the past, we were told to set up one account, then close that account. Is that still viable, or do we forget about that?
Okay, I said that for your own security, because whoever that exchange person is there, if you feel that your information is going out, then go back to the bank, have everything moved to one where only you and your wealth manager know. That's all. Nobody's looking in there. He can lock everybody else out. Is why I said to do that and get one computer and put it on. So that's up to you guys if that's what you want to do. That's what I plan on doing, because I don't know who is doing my exchange and where that's going, the paperwork, everything else. So I'm going to get my wealth manager and say, I want to open a new account, just you and me, put it here, and we're the only 2 that have the information. That's what I'm going to do.
All right, so you're going to do the exchange with that person, and then at your appointment with your wealth manager is when you will change that account.
Yes.
Thank you. Next question
it's
was,
more work for them, but it's okay. I got the money. They can do the work. All right, go ahead.
That's right. In the past, we were to write on now this is going way back, I'm sure, but it was on that list. It says, in the past, we were to write on the NDA, all rights reserved. Now, is that still necessary? Because I think later we were told, no, that wasn't necessary, but it came out on that list. So I just want to make sure which way we were going.
I don't know. I think that's something Ray came up with.
Well, this has been about
Nope.
5 years ago.
We never told anybody to do any of that. You picked it up from somebody else that was telling you to do that.
No, I don't listen to other calls, just your calls. It was on
No, ma'am.
old note.
We never told you guys to do that.
Okay, are we to do that or not to do that? Is it necessary?
Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means when you do it?
To be honest with you, back then I studied it, but I haven't studied it since. I just saw it pop up on this list that you sent us out last week.
So, well, here's an education for all the folks listening that don't know what that means. The people that know what that means, and then when you sign something like that, if they know what it means, they won't accept it. They'll tear the contract up and say, that's okay. So you need to know what that represents when you try to use that, and make sure that you fully understand what it represents, and then hope that the person on the other end doesn't understand what it represents, because if they do, then they'll say, oh, no, we're not going to do it that way. Then what are you going to do? Either you'll sign another contract or get up and walk away.
Okay. I'm going to have to go back over my notes on that one because I just happened to see it on your list again, so that's why I was asking. My third question was, and this is, of course, junior, senior moment asking this question. I apologize. On that list, it said, ask for CDARS coverage. I have forgotten what that means.
Well, see, here's the challenge, ma'am. We've never made any list for you guys to be subscribing to. We've had members that post stuff in our forums, but we've never made a list and said, this is what you should adhere to. So all this stuff that you're coming up with, we didn't tell you to do it.
Well, I'm referring to the print-off that you sent us last week. All these questions are coming off that print-off.
Okay.
Right. That was something a member put together. Tony looked at it, liked it, and said, yeah, you guys should take a look at that and should read it. It's not saying this is what you should do and that we're recommending it. It was something that a member put together that had some good data in it.
Okay.
Now, the CDARS, that's a program that banks use to help spread out your money so that you can have FDIC coverage on more than $250,000. Now, every bank doesn't do that, but some banks offer that program, and that's what CDARS is.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so banks use it, but not all banks use it, is what you're saying, right?
Correct. Not all banks use the CDARS program. Just participating banks get on it.
And then my last question off of that list was, what was meant by ceiling rate so you don't get hit with spread fees? I thought we had talked about spread fees being negotiable. So why would they have a ceiling rate? Or am I misinterpreting?
It says ceiling rate? I misunderstood.
Yes, pardon?
Wait, I didn't hear you.
It said, I was asking, what did they mean by ceiling rate so you don't get hit with a spread fee? I was assuming ceiling rate meant, they'd only go up to $20 million, but that didn't make sense to me.
Well, right now it don't make sense to me because I don't know what a ceiling rate is, so you don't get hit by spread fees. The ceiling rate.
Okay. Then I wanted to just say last Friday, because I couldn't get on, I just want to share with 707, he was concerned because being able to see a wealth manager. And I didn't want to be discouraged because over the last 4 years, I've tried different banks, and they wouldn't even talk to me because I didn't have the money up front, or if they found out, they would ask questions like, well, where are you getting this money? Finally, I learned instead of saying I was invested in Dinar or Dong, I just started saying, well, I'm coming into an inheritance. But then last month, when I went to California, I had shared with you a bank story about talking to the manager, and he went back to the teller, and they couldn't find it, so I had to go to the online foreign currency for Wells Fargo on phone. So this is the same bank I'm going to talk about because last month I was back down to California opening up an account with my daughter, and I just was just sitting there, and I thought to ask the guys, what's the difference between a personal banker and a private banker? And they kind of explained it, and I said, well, I'm expecting to come into an inheritance. And the girl said to me, well, how much are you talking about? I said, a few million. And she said, well, wait a minute. Let me get you some information. We've got some excellent private bankers that we will put you in connection with, which I thought that was interesting because before they didn't want to talk to me. Then I have a bank story.
Okay.
And then I have a bank story for you, and then I'll be closing. My sister-in-law lives in Miami, and she's very new to this, so I've been teaching her the things you've taught us over the years. She's just been at less than a year. So she went into Chase in Miami last Friday, and this man approached her. She had mentioned something to him before, and he came up to her to talk to her, and he was a private, she called a private manager. I believe she meant private banker. And asked him a few questions about the Dinar. And he got a big smile on his face, and she asked about her exchange. You know, he just got a big smile when she said something about the Dinar, and he got a big smile on his face, and then she asked about her exchange, whether she should go to Chase or Wells Fargo, and he told her he would take very good care of her, and he gave her his card, and he did and said, I will take very good care of you, because she was saying, I might go to Wells Fargo. She says, I know you have your training. I know you have your codes. And he smiled again. And he says, I will take very good care of you. I will get the RV rate. Now, she never once mentioned RV in this conversation. And then they talked about the ferry accident. And he said, I will see you soon. And he also shared with her that his parents had invested in the Dinar years ago. And they got frustrated, and they sold it, and now they're very frustrated. So then Saturday, that was sad. That was Friday. Saturday, I went to Chase Bank here off the island, and the guy I've talked to this guy before, and he said, "Oh no, we don't do that." I said, "Well, I know you do." I said, "Your bank is in training. I know they have the codes. I know they're ready to go." I said, "History repeats itself," and I talked about Kuwaiti, World War II, the Korean War, how money revalues. And he still just looked at me stupidly, so I just left it at that. Then the last thing I want to say is the lady that was talking about OAN, that's One American News, she said it was on Comcast. Yeah. It is not, because we were going to change from DirecTV to Comcast, but my husband loves OAN, and so do I. And they don't carry it. And that's why we didn't switch back. We didn't switch to Comcast. We stayed on DirecTV with OAN. And all I had to say today, I just really want to thank you. I do want to thank you guys for your graciousness to hear our questions and not go through a lot of chit-chat. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. OAN is actually, it is on AT&T Uverse, too, if you guys are looking for it. It is a different kind of news, though, so you got to be ready. All right.
Okay, 360 area code. You are on.
360?
Yes, that's you.
Hey, I got on. Gentlemen, good afternoon, Ray. Good morning, Tony.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Absolutely. Well, I by now had figured that I would be at the bank, but I've extended my plans of continuing my work until we get a phone number. And which, Tony, remember when you used to tell us, don't quit your day job until you know for sure what's going on. And so I've kind of held that policy. I'm curious, and I have to plead ignorance here, the significance of rates being there and then disappearing and flashing rates. Is there a difference?
I don't think there's a difference because they're anticipating every time when they come back, either when they stop or when they disappear and they come back, they think that's going to be the activation. Something's going to happen because they did this for some reason, but most of them assume that when they come back, we're ready to go. So
right.
They haven't come back yet today. They haven't seen them. So they're still thinking as soon as they come back, we'll be ready to go.
Right, right. Now, is there a possibility that because of the whatever the rate is that they flashed out, that it would, let's say they flashed out $2, and then later on, is it likely that it would come in at 50 cents?
Not going to be any 50 cents or anything like that. Okay. When she says it, well, I don't know. I'm going to try and find out the exact rate, but it may come out at $2 or something, leading up, just below the $3, make sure everybody made some money, or the banks made some money, and then go up from there. So it doesn't go up too fast or too far. So we'll see.
Right.
And we're talking dinar in this example, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much, and I look forward to that the big call that says it's time to write down a number and make a phone call. So.
All right.
Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. And, by the way, I got my check back canceled, and the funds went through. I made my donation, and I was tickled about that because it didn't show up right away, and I sent it a couple of weeks ago. So
okay.
You got it, and it's not going to fill a big hole in the dam, but it'll help a little bit for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It goes a long way.
Have a good day, you two.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, hold on for a second, Ray. So,
okay.
Hold on for a second. Man. Guys, if it comes out at a sucker rate and you want to go into the bank, I mean, some people are just going to take it because they're scared and they waited so long and they need their money and they're not going to wait 2 or 3 more days. I don't know why. But what you can do during your appointment is exchange your dong or exchange your Zim and then tell them you just want to wait on the dinar if you're not getting the contract rate. They give you the contract rate, doesn't matter. You got the contract, you got the highest rate on the dong, and you got whatever rate you can get on the Zim, do your appointment, and go and enjoy life. But if you get there and find out that you don't qualify for it or they won't give it to you, then I would simply say, well, I'm here, so I'll exchange everything else except for the dinar. Know who your person is. When the number in the dinar gets to where you want to, you should be able to call that guy directly and say, hey, I'm ready to come in and finish. Okay? I was going to make sure. Still get money in your pocket. Just don't lose your dinar at a sucker rate if you're not getting the contract rate. Okay, Ray?
Yep. Okay. Or they could exchange the other currency and buy some more dinar for the rate to appreciate. It's a choice.
Double dip. You sure can. You can double dip if they're going to do that.
All right.
Okay.
440 area code. You are on.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Glad to be
here
today.
Good afternoon, sir.
I guess when you say I'm talking to the bankers, I guess I don't know what that means.
Well, it means I'm talking to someone who works at the bank and is involved in this transaction.
Is it secret to what bank?
Is it a secret what bank I'm talking to?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
No, it's not a secret. We're just not putting all the banks out there for people to call every time. We do that. Start calling everybody. Do you see this? Do you see that? We're giving the information that we're getting.
Well, I'm not going to call any bank. I'm just curious what bank is saying that this is that and so on and so forth.
Okay, you're not going to call any bank. But there's 10,000 people on the call. They might call the bank. This call gets recorded
right.
and it goes out to 100,000 million people. They might all call the bank and say, Tony said, your bank has the codes and I want my money right now. Now, who does that help?
Uh-huh. Well, I don't think anybody's going to get their money till there's an RV, of course. But all right, the other question I have is, I think it was you, Ray, said talk about screens flashing and screens not flashing, and though you may have explained that in the past, I don't recall. What does that mean that a rate is flashing and or it's not flashing?
Okay. So again, how long have you been doing this?
What's that?
Hello? I said, how long have you been
Yes,
a part of this?
What's that?
How long have you been listening to these calls?
Not long, off and on, but not long.
Okay. So we've been doing this for 10 years now, and we've been explaining this for 10 years now. Exactly what front screens, back screens, screens that people can't see. At certain levels in every bank, there are people.
Years ago.
There was authorizations, and people are authorized to see different things on the screen at different levels. So, if a rate is flashing to somebody, then that means to them they're anticipating a change in that rate, or it's going up and down, that when it settles, that's going to be the new rate. But before that settles on one thing, it goes completely blank, which happened this weekend. And now they're thinking that when it comes back, that'll be the final rate, and we should be ready to go.
Okay. Well, my last question has actually come up when you talked about today about a sucker rate, and I don't doubt that something like that may happen, because certainly banks are in business to make money. But I've heard you say in the past about you have to declare, if you call the 800 number, you have to declare how much you have, and or you can just go to a teller. I guess my thought is, if I've got quite a bit of Dinar, and if I just wanted to go in and take $250,000 and go home, or put in my account $250,000, do I still have to declare the rest of the money, the other money?
The only reason they're asking you how much you have of each currency is so they can get you to a person who is authorized at your level. Nobody's trying to track your money or keep up with it, anything else. They want to send you to someone who's authorized at 10 million, someone who deals with 40 million, someone who deals with 100 million. They don't want you to have 100 million and walk up to the teller, because they can't help you at all. Or go to the guy who's only authorized 5 million. Now you're bouncing around. They're trying to send you right to the person you need to go to. That's the only reason they need to know how much you have. You can take a $25,000 note and walk up to the teller, and it's at $4, get you $100,000, and you can do that 50,000 times if that's what you want to do. I mean, I don't know who would, but if that makes you feel better so they don't know what you have, every time they trade with you, guess what? They're going to write it down. Eventually they can say, he had this much.
Right.
There's no way to change. It's going to be tracked.
Yeah. Well, my thought is that, if I can go to a teller and use a little bit of my Dinar and walk away with $250,000, and then go to the private banker the next day or the next week or whatever, that doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. I know you from a standpoint of you leaving money.
You could do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't do the Dinar. If I thought it was a low rate, I would take one of my other currencies and do that. I'd sell enough dong at the teller window if I needed 200,000 or 150,000 because the rate's not going to be that different. Or them if they would take that. That's what I would do.
Okay. You answered my
All
question.
right.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Happy birthday.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, Ray?
610. You're on.
Hey, good afternoon, Ray. Hey, good morning, Tony. It's G-Man
Hey,
in
sir.
PA.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing super fantastic, Tony, and it's another Dynamite Day here in the USA, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who are new to the call and those of you who didn't know, all these calls and all the means of communication that Ray and Tony use to keep us informed need to be paid for. And it's up to all of us out here in the currency community to make donations in order to keep this information superstation on the air. You can help by going to www.TNTSUPERFANTASTIC.com, clicking on that red donate button, and when you do, the name and address will come up to where you can send your check or money order made payable to Raymond Renfrow, P.O. Box 1748, Elm City. That's just like the tree. Elm City, North Carolina, 27822. And for those of you who would like to donate electronically, the Cash App is available on the donation page. And if you're already familiar with and utilizing the Cash App, you can go to $TNT SuperFantastic, and you'll be able to make your donation electronically. And when you're sending in your donations, ladies and gentlemen, please include your phone number. This way, Ray can track those donations as they come in. Again, Tony and Ray, thank you for all you continue to do for us out here in the currency community. Thank you to both of your families for sharing you with us. Thank you to those 13 task force members still out there, making sure that the bankers and meeting facilities will be available for us post-RV. And on behalf of Tony and on behalf of Ray, thank you to all of you out there who have sent in donations in the past, those of you who will send in donations today and in the very near future. Your donations are very much needed and very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I'll close out with Vegas, negotiation, diversification, protect your principal, and Raleigh, so I can come join you and enjoy some of that good home-style North Carolina barbecue. Thank you, gentlemen. Make it a dynamite day.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.
Next up is 972 area code. Nine 825. You're on. Okay. Next up is 340 area code. 340 514. You're on. Okay. Next up is 8320 area code.
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm super fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Just one question I'd like to ask with respect to the executive order that President Bush issued timeline for people to invest on their return.
Okay, is there what?
The executive order that President Bush issued for people to invest into Iraq. Was there a timeline with respect to people getting the return? Yeah, timeline, like a deadline.
Right. Okay, so 13303 is gone on at 1 year intervals and is renewed every year by the current president. Bush signed it, Obama has signed it, Trump has signed it. There is no deadline for it. I mean, they'll sign it again next year. It will give us the same rights as Iraqi citizens as long as we're over there and our agreement is in place. The deadline for doing this currency is supposedly 2 years. So the notes that we have should be good for 2 years after the RV is activated, because some people aren't going to find out until next year sometime. Somebody threw it in their closet, in their sock drawer, or in the garage somewhere, and eventually they're going to find out about it. So they'll still be able to go then. So the timeline you're looking for, again, probably is 2 years after it's activated for the current notes that we have.
But there was no timeline for those that invest, right? Is that what you're saying?
There's no investment. We actually bought currency. We're exchanging currency. So my currency wasn't really an investment. I just exchanged currency. When I look at investments, it's a company, corporation, it's Forex, it's somewhere I put that in, and I'm going to pay the taxes on that investment or that return. It's not what I did. I just bought currency and held it. So I'm trying to tell you something if you're listening. So all 13303 deal gave us the same rights as an Iraqi citizen. If you want to actually invest in companies in Iraq, businesses, and that, you have to go through them just like every other company that did, file the correct paperwork to invest in Iraq.
All right. Thank you for your time.
All right, sir. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next, Ray?
Well, some of these numbers are dropping off, so they're throwing me out of sequence. Okay, 413. Let me hit it again. 413.
Oh, hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hi there. I'm fantabulous.
Good. How are you this morning?
To the nth degree.
Very good. Very good. My question was, I don't know if anybody touched on this at the beginning of the call, but it was a question of is there a potential that there could be a blackout?
Is that it? Is she gone?
I don't know. She might have been answering her own question. 413. I know she was saying something about a blackout, and then she went quiet. 413.
Hello?
Okay, there you are.
Okay. I didn't know that I left the building. No.
Hello, we lost you again.
Okay. Yeah, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're driving, walking, or what you're doing, but we can't hear you.
413, can you hear us?
Well, she wouldn't be able to answer, though, because we can't
hear
hear her.
In a blackout.
All right.
We'll go to next caller, 780.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, good morning.
Hi. Good morning and good afternoon to Ray and Tony. I'm a first-time caller. I'm calling from Canada. And I was wondering, my friend who listens to your call or has been listening to your calls forever, he ended up getting sick last year and he lost his hearing. So he can no longer listen to the calls. But he was wondering, he asked me if I would phone in and find out, is there any place that he can go to read what's happening? I know that we used to be able to, your ladies that would dictate the calls and write it up. He was reading them, but is there any place that he can go to read what's happening on the calls.
Okay. Does he have access to the board?
No, he's not we're not members. We didn't get in as members.
All right. Are you on your cell phone or is this a landline?
Yes, I am. No, I'm on my cell phone.
Okay. I'll reach out to you. We'll figure out something a way so that he can read the call since he can no longer listen to them. Right.
Oh, that would be awesome. He'd love you guys for that forever. And then let's see here. Oh, the fellow that talks about donating. Mm-hmm. There's a place. He said, "Is it Cash App?"
Cash App. It's an app. It's an app on your smartphone. It's called Cash App, where people send money. And so he was given our Cash App name, $TNT SUPERFANTASTIC for Cash App.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to go in and donate some money. I'm finally in a position where I can donate, and I love you guys to death.
Thank you.
You've done so much, and helped so many people, and I thank you for all that you've done and what you continue to do. It's amazing. I just hope I can hardly wait. We've been in this for about 5 years now, and we can hardly wait till things happen. I keep going to bank every once in a while here up in Canada, and they're all clueless. They have no idea what's happening. But my daughter lives in Texas, and so I opened up a bank account down there. And the guy at Wells Fargo, it was a smaller town. He didn't know anything about it, but he wanted to learn about it. So I was going to share some of the calls with him, if that's okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Now, have you used Cash App before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I know some of the other Canadians. I know some of the other Canadians are having difficulty with using it because their bank accounts are not U.S. based. But since you said you have an account in Texas, that's a U.S. based bank, so it might work for you.
Oh, okay. I'll use my U.S. account. I never even thought about that. Okay, thanks so much. And I can hardly wait to meet you guys in either Vegas or California or South Carolina or wherever you're going to have meetings. Would you think of coming up to Canada to do a webinar or a seminar or something?
We already plan to.
Oh, right on. I'm in the Toronto area, and so it's in Ontario. And my phone number is from Alberta, though.
Okay.
But that's okay. You can catch me on this phone anytime.
All right.
Okay, perfect. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful day,
guys. Ray.
Yeah.
Okay, when Ray calls you, the Skype chat rooms, they post a summary of our call all the time. So maybe he'll show you how to get there.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, good.
So who does it?
Oh,
the Skype
Ray.
Chat rooms.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ray, what's your area code? Because I don't answer all the calls that I get on my phone.
252.
You that popular?
Sorry, what was it?
252.
252. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
28. Wait a minute. What happened here? We just did something crazy. 1 second. There we are. 281. You're on. There you go. 281 area code.
Hello, is that me?
That's you.
That me? Oh, hey, how y'all doing? Good day.
Good day to you.
First time caller, been tried a couple of times, but could never get in. But I'd like to just say to you guys, thank you very much. I've been investing in currency, but I've been doing it the wrong way. Now I'm finally learning how to do it the right way.
Great.
And Ray, I want to attend your seminars as soon as possible. I mean, as soon after you get the numbers out, I will be there either in Texas, where I'm from, or wherever it needs to be.
Okay.
And the reason that I'm calling today is that I'm about to have some probably major surgery on 5 of my cervical vertebrae here very soon. And my business is probably going to suffer quite a bit. And I may end up having to sell some of my equipment. And I was talking to my wife on my next goal, what I need to do. And she says, well, let's hope and pray that everything goes through in time for that, and look like that may happen. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Very much. And Tony, keep up the good work. I lived in Oakland for many years. I had several businesses up there, and kind of appeared off a little bit up to Sacramento. So I may have met you guys at somewhere in the past, and I've been around for a few years up there. But anyway, I'll see y'all in Vegas. And thank you.
All right,
once
thank
again.
you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. 416 area code. You are on. Oh, wait a minute. Let me try
Canada.
again. What is this thing?
Perfect Hall,
Okay.
north of the border in Canada.
416. You're on.
Perfin Paul, north of the border in Canada.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes.
Good morning. I have a comment on a previous caller, some follow-up for Tony, and then my own question. So we'll start about 10 callers ago. A gentleman was saying he wanted to go to the bank first, to the teller. I think he said he wanted $250,000, and then he wanted to go back another day with the wealth manager. And my concern with what he was planning on doing is they might say he's double dipping by converting only a minor amount first. My second point of concern is I believe your new phrase, sucker bid, is anyone who just walks up to the teller. That means they have not called the 1-800 number. They're not going in to get a higher rate. And we all have bills to pay. So I understand the context of where he's coming from. He needs a little bit of money and he pays off his mortgage, et cetera, et cetera. Another way to go about doing that is when he walks into the bank, his money is now worth money. So he could use other people's money and ask for a loan. And at that point, his currency definitely is collateral. And I think there's one other thing. Oh, yeah, and then he said the next day he wants to sell the rest and be with the wealth manager. He may not necessarily be with the wealth manager the next day because he may go in and ask to talk to someone, but he hasn't even done his currency conversion. Are you following me?
I am following you. But here's the thing. If I have 50 million dinar, and I know the rate that Iraq based it on was $4.43. I know at some point it's going to reach that rate. So now I got 50 million dinar that I could get at least $200 million off of. Now, I'm only thinking about this if I don't get the contract rate, because if I get the contract rate, I got a whole lot more of my 50 million dinar. So I don't want to lose out on that because they have a rate of $2, and I know I could double. So think about that. Now, I got 100 million dong, or I got 2 zim, and I'm willing to exchange them and get $500 million or 100 million US dollars cash. And they're going to do that for me right then to do my exchange. I could then take that 100 million, like we said, buy 10, 20, 30 million dollars worth of dinar at the $2 rate if I want to, since they're not giving me the contract rate. I could watch it go from $2 to $6, $7, or $8, and then go do my exchange before it falls back down to the 443. And there's nothing anybody could do about it because it's my money, and now I'm making an investment.
Fair enough.
You remember my November 30th intel, where I told you the school teacher, who was a government official, went to the bank to get his cash from his paycheck, and he was paid in stacks of lower denomination notes? First, I'm going to talk about the banknotes for 1 second. The common one is the red 25K, 25,000. There's also a 10,000, a 5,000, a 1,000, and below that, there's currently a 500 and a 250. Below that was a $50 note that was withdrawn from circulation. Above the 25K, they brought out a 50K, which normally is supposed to be used bank to bank. So when the school teacher went in, the common banknote in Iraq would have been the 25K. But instead of handing him 25K banknotes, they handed him stacks of the current low value, the $250 banknote. Not the new lower denominations that are coming, but the lowest one of what's currently in circulation. And when I looked at that, I kind of felt that maybe they had withdrawn the 25Ks and tried to send them back to the central bank and account for them and destroy them, so they don't have to pay $4 per banknote and so on. And therefore, when he went in for his paycheck, they no longer had them in the bank. So they were forced to pay him stacks of 100 times $250 banknotes would equal one of those red 25Ks. So I still thought that was interesting, but it's more in relation to, it's not an early sign of the lower values being issued, but it certainly looks like a sign that the banks were removing the higher value notes, probably doing an accounting for them, knowing that the RI, RV, or GCR is coming.
Okay, that's exactly what it was. Excuse me. And they've been doing that for over a year, trying to pull all the 3-0 notes off the streets in Iraq. That was always the plan, to pull as many of them off as they can so people aren't confused when the RV happens, because a 25,000 note is going to be the same as a 25 note.
And my one question...
off.
Go ahead. My one question to Tony today is, you had made comments in the past that there was some tax treaty that had said the IQD, the Iraq Dinar, was supposed to be tax-free. And I wondered, would this tax treaty be what's commonly called Nezra or Gezra? And if it is Nezra or Gezra, no, it isn't? Okay.
No, nothing to do with Nasara.
Okay, because I'm north of the border in Canada trying to figure out if we get the same deal. Will the IQD be a tax-free event? So I know you don't know Canadian tax regulations, but based on the Americans saying it's going to be tax-free, I thought maybe the Canadians would be tax-free, and I'm just trying to figure out what treaty it's with that I might understand, yes, we are, or no, we're not.
I am hearing that it will be just like the U.S. and be tax-free, but we're waiting to see. There's nothing been published, anything else, but our committee person is telling us that it will be just like the U.S.
Well, God bless you for your time today. Please continue with other callers. We really like listening to your news.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Okay.
Okay.
Will be just like the U.S. and be tax-free.
All right, 386 area code. You are on.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Raymond.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. How are you?
My wife still says I'm better than nothing.
All right.
Has she met nothing yet, though?
Well, she won't tell me how much better than nothing, just better than nothing.
Okay. All right.
I tried that Cash App thing. I got as far as where it said $10 for you guys, and then that's as far as I could get on it. You ever hear that one?
No.
And then the other question.
Have you used it,
Tony?
Have you used it before? Or this is your first
I've never
time?
used it before. It's
Okay.
first time use. So now I have another question. A while back you said something about having your credit froze after the RV or blanked out or whatever. And you talked about using other people's money. Are you going to be able to get a loan without any credit?
Get the loan first and then freeze the credit.
Okay. Had me wondering about that one. Because you keep saying, freeze the account and then use other people's money, but I was wondering how if the bank would get, if they're holding all this money, if they'd still give you a loan or what?
Well, I was serious. That's what you do. Get the loan first and then freeze the credit after you get the loan.
Yeah, but if you need more than one loan for a period of time, I guess. Oh, well. I had another question, but I sat here for so long I forgot it. That's what happens. You get old. So I guess I'll say good evening to you. Because morning and afternoon is gone, so I'll say good evening.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
You stop a bunch of places, you won't be able to get around. Oops.
Okay, 978, you're on.
Did you just hear me? Oops, that's me.
That's
you
you.
scared me to death there, Ray. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm trying to get a 96-and-a-half-year-old mother into her vehicle to a doctor's appointment now that she can't stand on her own and she cannot transfer without injuring her home health aides. She demands to get out of the house to the hairdresser, the casino, the doctors, and she can't stand, so we can't take her out. So we're waiting on a cab service, and the cab service blew us off. And so now my mother and her aide are sitting out there trying to figure out how to get her in the car and get her to the doctors. It's been a little frustrating. I'd like to be able to buy a chair car, converted van for her with this RV money, Ray and Tony, so that we wouldn't have to go through this with her. It's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. So anyway, that's what we're going through today. That's why, and I continue to drive Lyft. This is Vanessa calling you from Florida. Good morning, Ray. How are you? Good afternoon, Ray. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, and good afternoon. Good morning, Tony. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm super fantastic. And I'm glad your mom is still feeling that need to get out.
She is.
That's good.
She was quite the dancer back in the day. She's got many pictures here on the walls of all her adventures around the world because she did win the lottery back in 1989 in the state of Massachusetts, megabucks for a few $1 million. And she has made it last a good 25 years, and now it's kind of starting to dwindle, and we're getting a little panicky. So I kind of thought I would come to the rescue here. And my mother keeps saying, when's the paper money going to turn in? When are you going to turn the paper money in? That's what she calls it, the paper money. And she keeps yelling at me, you know how much I made on the stock market today? She said, on Eversource. I said, great, Mom. One of these days I'm going to surprise you. I tend to drive Lyft because I'm just losing a lot of focus and energy and faith in this, and I don't want to do that because I know that God is watching over us all. And I know that it's here. We're on the doorstep, and I'm just trying to kind of hang on to the faith in the powers that be, that this is the right thing and it will be good for the whole world. And I have many big plans for how to help others and just trying to hang in there. But some days it's hard, especially days like this. It's difficult. It's just difficult. And I'm sorry to get emotional, but it's hard.
That's right. Yeah, I know it is.
So it can be emotionally, mentally, just draining. So just trying to say prayers and be focused on the beautiful sunny day here, and know that God's got us covered, and we will be able to help ourselves, our families, and all of other humanitarian projects, which is what I want to focus on. I do have a question regarding a report that came out recently through some intel that I am privy to from someone by the name of Michael Murdoch. And I don't know, a couple people in my group questioned me about this. They said, can you get on the call and ask for us? Something about the banks and it sounds ridiculous, but then again, it could be true. Wanting to take a blood sample for a bio ID. Now, it sounds to me pretty weird, but then again, with this new QFS, I don't know. I mean, this digital money system, it says there will be a biometric encoding DNA taken at the time of your initial exchange. You will give 1 drop of blood from 2 different fingers. They will be placed in a special reader that will extract information and attach it to your account. You will be provided with a bio ID card with a string of characters used to identify you as the account owner holder, so no one else has access to your money except you. Ridiculous? I'm thinking, yeah. What do you think? Dead silence.
I don't know. Was there a question in there?
What do you think?
What do I think?
No, that's what I was saying. You asked Tony, what did he think?
Yeah. And he didn't say anything. He laughed. Well, he laughed. That's an answer.
I'm saying I didn't even hear anything. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, that was
Was there a question? What?
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering. I said it sounds kind of bizarre that they would do that, but then again, with all the technologies out there, I've always heard that the QFS system was going to be somehow linked to your DNA. I don't know if it's fingerprint or a thumbprint or, your actual unique fingerprint would be attached to that account for security.
Okay,
but,
yeah, I didn't hear y'all. Just wait. Let me ask you a question, though, about this. So, because I heard this yesterday. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Let me think.
Could you not
Would
hear
you
me
go to? Would you go to your mechanic?
Right. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, we're probably not going to do that, right? I mean, just because
right.
we're working on the car, hey, man, take my blood pressure and tell me what pills to take. So, who is going to their banker and let a banker stick a needle in them and take their blood? Who does that make sense to?
Oh, that would mean they'd have to have medical personnel there, I would guess, which is kind of ridiculous.
Every bank all day for every exchange. And then who is it supposed to be transporting this blood and saving it? Do they rebuild the banks to be blood banks? I mean, really, who does that make sense to? And every time you got to go to the bank to get into your account, you have to do what? Prick your finger, put your blood in this vial, wait till I come back to it matches?
They're making a bio ID. Yeah, I guess. They're trying to read special information from your DNA, from your blood sample, and then create a bio ID card. But, yeah, that means whoever has the card, right? How do you match that up every visit to the bank? You're right. How do you do that? That doesn't make sense.
Now the bank is not only keeping all your money, but they're keeping all your DNA, too.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thank you for that answer. Thank you.
People come out with the stupidest. Actually telling people they're going to take your blood at the exchange. I mean, really. I know they call bankers vampires, but we're just not going to see that happen. Okay?
Well, that's good, and I will say one last thing. I hope that it happens before. I don't want to say hope. Don't say hope, need, or want, because that indicates a lack of what you are looking for. So we know it's coming. But this Mercury retrograde, which I have mentioned before, the planet Mercury in a retrograde orbit through the 28th, which I told you, and you said, that's my birthday. It can't be. Well, it gets worse for the last 3 days after the 28th. So I've been, this has all fallen in line with all the glitches technically you've been having on the phone lines, people dropping off, the calls not working some days. I've had more car problems and computer problems and miscommunications with people in my life in the past since the 5th of March. And Mercury does go direct on your lovely birthday, Tony. So I really would like to see the RV happen before the end of the month, but I'm concerned about signing an NDA, a legal document during a retrograde phase. But I'm going to let that shake out the way it does. And let's, just whatever day it happens, we'll be grateful that it's coming.
That's right. That's all we got to do. Wait for it to happen. Okay?
Well, thank you for everything you both do and your families. God bless you all. And healing energy continue to droop. Hope to be able to help you guys out with that fountain of youth when we get to the party in Las Vegas.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey. 972 area code. You're on.
Hello, Ray.
Hello.
Hey, Tony.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Ray, at the end of the call, can you explain about that Cash App? Because I had somebody that text me and asked me and told me that they tried to donate today, but they couldn't get the donation in. They just quit on them.
Okay, well, see, I don't know what they mean when they say you just quit on them.
It failed. Their donation, they was attempting to donate, but it failed.
Oh, it denied.
Right,
okay.
Right.
So, situation.
Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, Rick. Somebody's doing some chopping or something in the background.
Oh,
yes.
that was me.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
Here's the deal with the Cash App, folks. First thing that you should do if you have difficulty using the Cash App, it gets declined or rejected, contact your bank. Because sometimes it's your bank that's blocking it because the Cash App system, some banks have it on a list of suspicious activity. And so if your bank puts it on a list of suspicious activity, it won't let certain transactions go through until you contact them and tell them that Square Cash App is okay and that you are sending money to it. That would be the first thing that I would tell people to do that are having difficulty using it, because the system, it's working. Several folks are using it with no problem. I've been using it going on 2 years now with no. But the first time I experienced that problem, I called my bank and they said, "Well, Cash App is on our list. Go through, then we will process it." And so I had to do that so that when I send money via Cash App, it would go through. So that would be the first thing, to check your bank and see if they are blocking it. Now, if they are not blocking it, then it would be something on Square Cash end that they might have to look into, if that helps.
I hope it helped. And I got one more question, Tony, for just an opinion. What do you think that when this Basel III Accord goes through and the central banks are able to count gold as a 100% asset, do you think that would actually affect the banks in a way to make it possible for them to actually come out with a higher rate?
No, the rate for the dinar is not going to be based just on that. I mean, everybody's going to be Basel III compliant. So, yes, they're going to include everything, the oil and all that, and they're going to establish the rate.
Right.
And it probably will be a higher rate, but I don't think it's going to be higher. Their base rate is going to still be that 443 that they did their annual on, that they did it on, and that they based it on. That's the rate they're looking to establish. Now, if oil goes up, everything else, the rate will go up just like it's supposed to, and vice versa. Okay?
Okay, thank you. And thank you
All
for
right,
explaining
all right.
that, Ray.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Take care.
Good day, y'all. Bye.
All right. 951 area code.
Good afternoon. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, Tony. Being over here, and I know that the article says he's going to be over here for 6 days, and then they're saying that Parliament is going to meet on Thursday. Do they have a substitute speaker that takes Halabasi's place to conduct business over there?
Yeah. No idea at all, to tell you the truth. So I'm just going to wait till Thursday and see what happens. If you're just going to make the announcement, just to take the vote, I don't know if the speaker has to be there. If not, if he does, then we'll know from that moment on, whatever date they set, they're not really going to do it, right?
Right. Understand it, because obviously I'm in agreement with you. I don't think the ministers have to think that's a big thing. So, and I think it'd be really cool on your birthday if this thing would go. That would be a blessing. That would be really cool because you put a lot of time and effort, both of you guys have. So I think that would be cool. But other than that, that's the final question I have. So I appreciate it very much, and you guys have a great day. All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Ray, you there? Hello?
Okay, sir. It's wrap-up time.
All right. All right, guys. It's a great, great Monday, to tell you the truth. Again, the rates are there. We know the rates are still high. They're blank. Matter of fact, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to try and contact the bank and see if they're back yet. If they are, I will definitely let you guys know. I'll tweet it out, to tell you the truth. Okay. So we can do that. I was trying to think, Ray, sending you something about Zelle. I don't know anything about Zelle, but there's usually telling me to tell you that's an option. Anyway,
okay.
When the bank's call, I will tweet it out to you guys. We'll tweet out the new rates. We know right now everybody is saying 100% this week sometime we're going to be at the bank. Whether it's Tuesday or Friday, they think we're going to be at the rate. Everything's done. The committee members said the new codes have been released. The bank said they're just waiting for the Treasury to say go, and we're gone. So I'm looking forward to a great week. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys on Thursday, some for the first time, some for the second or third time. But either way, there will be a party this week, one way or the other. All right. Have a great day, Ray.
All right, sir. Thank you. That's going to do it for us, folks. This is Marvelous Monday. We'll see what happens in the coming hours, possibly, and see if we'll have a regularly scheduled call on Wednesday or something different. Time will tell. Keep believing. We sure do.